Hey there, you guys. Math day. Here we go. So today's math lesson, we are going to be working on, we're still on Unit 1. So Unit 1 means that we're still in multiplication and division. And we're getting on Lesson 14 today, which we're working with building that fluency. So fluency, when we're talking about mathematics, is the ability to solve multiplication and division facts at a quick pace. So we're just going to keep practicing and practicing to quicken that pace. Here are some of the strategies we've discussed this year. This isn't all of them, but these are some that we use frequently within class. So we have the count by method. When you have a multiplication problem, we've used the count by, where you can hold your fingers up to equal the amount of groups. And with multiplication, you can use the count by to see how many you'd count by within each group to find your product. You can also use your count by for division. We've done equal shares drawings. We have drawn arrays for our multiplication with rows and columns. We've used for multiplication, we've done repeated and we've repeatedly added, so repeated addition. We have repeatedly subtracted, repeated subtraction, and we have used our multiplication table or chart for both solving multiplication and division using our target. All right, let's dive in. Here we go. So we're going to work on these problems called make sense of problems. And I always need to start with those directions. Write an equation and solve the problem. Jordan has 32 peaches. Okay, so my brain is thinking already about the clue words we've been talking about in the past. Now I'm thinking, Jordan has 32 peaches. He wants to divide them equally among 4 baskets. How many peaches will he put in each basket? I'm going to underline some of my clue words. Right there, he wants to divide them equally. Another clue I had, you guys, is it gave me the total amount of peaches he had. So I feel like if they're giving me the total, they're asking me to divide them equally. This is going to be a division word problem. So one way in which I could write it would be like this. 32 peaches divided equally among 4 baskets. So when I hear that word baskets, you guys, I can think of that like groups. 32 divided by 4. I put my equal symbol. I think, okay, I'm going to come down just a little bit. All right, a little bit clearer. Sorry about that, you guys. So I have 32 divided by 4. How many peaches will he put in each basket? Well, I can use the various methods we've practiced. And you guys, I'm going to use the count by method right here. I'm going to count by 4s until I get to 32 and see how many groups I needed. So I'm going to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Going to stop right there at 32 because I had 32 total peaches. And I'm going to count how many groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would write down 8. I need to label that. So 8 what? Well, I can find my what for the label usually in that last sentence, right? How many peaches will he put in each basket? Well, he's going to put 8 peaches. So you guys, when we're solving these word problems, we're detectives. Kind of like putting on your detective hat and getting your magnifying glass and really looking for the clues that tell us what to do. All right, let's take a look at number 8. Let's see, multiply or divide, let's read. A guitar has 6 strings. If Taylor replaces all the strings on 3 guitars, how many strings does he need? Ooh, does he need sounds like he wants to know the total. That's a clue. When they need to know the total, tells me that he has 3 guitars, so 3 groups. Each guitar needs 6 strings, so each group will have 6 in it. You guys hear where these clues are leading me to? This is asking me to multiply. So my clues would be total 3 groups, 6 strings. How many strings do we need in all? 3 times 6 equals, let's see. You guys, this time I'm going to use my multiplication chart to solve this 3 times 6. Here I have, excuse me, I put away my index cards. How dare I? All right, I'm going to use, my students and I, sometimes we use dry erase markers for our targets. But right now I'm going to use index cards for my targets. I'm solving the problem 3 times 6. So I'm going to go to my factor 3 and my factor 6, and I can see that my product is 18. 3 times 6 is 18. So I can use my multiplication chart to solve. Well, you guys can see I'm not done. I need to label that. So how many strings does he need? All right, well, my label would be strings because that's what they want to know. He needs 18 total strings. So when your answer's asking for the in all or the total, that's going to be multiplication. All right, here we go. Here we go. Kessler's photograph album holds 5 pictures on each page. Kessler has 40 pictures. How many pages will he fill? Well, I'm going to look at some information. I definitely have to look at that last question. That last question is very important. How many pages will he fill? Okay. Here we have, he has 40 pictures. You guys, it gives us the total. Right now, my brain is thinking, when they give you the total, and then they ask you to break it up, it's going to ask us to divide. That's our clue. It gives us the total. Also, we have this right here. That can often be, that word each is a division word. We hear that a lot. Not every time will we divide, but often you'll find that you'll be dividing. So 40, I'm going to use different symbol this time. 40, this is my dividend, divided by 5, that's my divisor. This is how many will be in each group, will give me my answer. 40 divided by 5. How can I solve this? I'm going to use that multiplication chart again. I'm going to go to my factor 5 and find the multiple 40. Multiple is a skip count number. So my factor 5, this is how I can use division. Find my factor. Then I find my dividend, 40. And to find out my other factor or my quotient, my answer for division, I go 40 divided by 5 is 8. So I can use my multiplication chart not only to multiply, but to also divide. 8. I'm going to rewrite this because I don't have a whole lot of room for my label. 8 what? I have to go back and read. How many pages will he fill? Well, he'll fill 8 pages. All right, you guys, we're going to keep practicing and practicing those clue words, and also look around your classroom for some reference tools too. I know a lot of your teachers have the division and multiplication images around the room. So don't be afraid to use those resources to help you. Okay. We are going to take a crack at a couple more. You guys, these ones, it's kind of like, I like to call it overdrive. Overdrive is kind of when we get into like really hitting it hard. And we're going to take a look at number 1 and solve using a little bit different multiplication. It's multiplication, it's just a little bit different step. Okay, so let's read it. Emily knows that 4 times 10 is 40. How can she use subtraction and multiples of 9 to find 4 times 9? Okay. Well, first I'm going to make some observations. When I look here, I see, okay, right here, these factors are the same, 4 and 4, but these factors are different. 9 is one less group than 10. So this is how I'm thinking I'm going to use this, you guys. I think if I were to solve this, I would say 4 times 10 is 40. And if I subtracted one group of 4, my answer would be the same as 4 times 9. So 4 times 10 has a product of 40. I can use this information to solve 4 times 9 because 9, when my factor is 9 from 10, it's 1 less count by. So I can take away a group and I would get 36. And I would see that 4 times 9, I'm going to check this. If I use, I'm going to back up just a scotch. If I used my nines trick, I'm going to check this to make sure that my answer is right. So remember, get your hands up. My nines trick is that I would put down 4 times 9. I'd put down my fourth finger, like the way I read a book, from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. What's in front of that finger to the left is my first digit. What's on the right is my second digit. So it's kind of hard to see. But my answer would be a 3 and the digit 6, 36. Let's look. How'd that work out? Is it the same? Oh, let's give it a second to focus in. 4 times 10 is 40, minus one group of 4 is 36, and 9 times 4 is 36. Yes, these would absolutely be equal. All right. So let's review a couple of more strategies. All right, you guys, I hope you're going, okay, I'm ready for this. Let's share our thinking. Hannah, number 3. Hannah knows that each division has a related multiplication. What related multiplication fact can she use to find 18 divided by 3? Well, I'm going to write down 18 divided by 3. And I'm going to have a think. To solve this in multiplication, I know that my divisor and my quotient in multiplication, in division, my quotient in division, if I multiply those two numbers together, my divisor and my quotient, it will equal my dividend. So I'm going to use that information to know that I can use multiplication to solve division. So it would look like this. How many groups, you guys, that square is a blank space. How many groups times 3 in a group would have a product of 18? So look at this. My total goes in my total for multiplication. My divisor becomes my second factor. And now I'm looking for that first factor. So how many 3s do I need to get to 18? How many groups of 3? Well, I'm going to use my count by. I'm going to use my hands. Ready? So I'm going to be counting by 3s until I get to 18. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Sorry about that, you guys. A little bit too close, I think. My apologies. Let me do that one more time. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. See that? 6 groups with 3 in each group equal 18. So that would be how multiplication and division, look at all those numbers, same 3 numbers, but my mathematical symbols have changed. I love how I can use multiplication and division and my knowledge of them to solve each other. Okay. All right, you guys, It is time for you to go practice, whether it is within your classroom with your teacher or there at home. If you need to watch any other videos, go ahead and rewatch this if needed. So your practice page for today is homework and remembering, page 1-14. All right, happy solving.